A yowl from Fluffy, followed by a thunk and a curse, pulled her from her daydreams. Was someone in her cabin? She stilled, heart racing like a scared rabbit. She swallowed, looking for something, anything, she could use as a weapon. She didn't own a hairdryer or a brush, not with these curls. She had a big plastic comb, a toothbrush, and a toilet plunger. She gingerly picked up the plunger, wielding it like a baseball bat, and slowly opened the door. Hello? She struggled to keep the fear from her voice. If it was a robber, she needed to put on a strong front, just like the first time she'd meet a horse. Mammals of any kind smelled fear. She peeked around the corner. Hello? She said more firmly and stepped into the big room that was kitchen, living, and dining room. Two things hit her at once. First, the cabin was in disarray, ransacked even. Where were her things? The door stood wide open. Was that pile of stuff on the porch hers? What in tarnation? She muttered to the room. Second, there was a man, a very big, very broad, rugged, sexy-looking man, standing in the middle of her room, glowering. At her. Her body gave an involuntary shiver. This was a real live man. Not some chew-chawing, horny teenage pervert following her around the rodeo showing off a buckle 10 sizes too big for his britches. This was a man. Virile, hard, built. A line of tattoos covered one bulging, straining bicep all the way to his enormous forearm. Jesus shitballs, the guy had Popeye arms. But it was his face that took her breath away and made her pulse quicken in places she'd never felt before. His jaw was chiseled and hard, and his mouth was made for sinning. His face was tanned enough to make his blue eyes pop like stars. Underneath his straw Stetson, dark hair was cropped close, too close for her taste. His hips were narrow, thighs bulging under his denims, and with his boots on, he dominated the space. He must be 6.5 feet tall at least. Warmth pooled in her belly. She only stopped staring when her arm grew tired. "Who are you, and what are you doing in my cabin?" she asked with as much authority as a young woman fresh out of the shower, wearing nothing but a towel and holding a plunger, could muster. "I could ask the same of you," he growled. The timbre of his voice sent a thrill through her. She remembered stories from her grandmother about Elvis having a voice that made you swoon. Was this what they'd been talking about? She could listen to that deep, gravelly voice all day. He could say the word, and she'd let him sweet-talk her into the kind of sinning even church wouldn't save you from. She clutched her towel a little harder, because for a split second, the idea had come to drop it, to beg this strange man with the beautiful voice and the perfectly sculpted body to touch her in all her secret places. The places she only touched late at night, under cover of darkness, to ease the ache that sometimes throbbed between her legs. It was throbbing now, so hard, she had to clench her thighs together for relief. She drew herself up to her full height of 5'4", and gazed up her nose at him, throwing as much command into her voice as she could. She'd gentled 1,000-pound horses, she could certainly handle a grumpy man. "I'm the foreman here, and it seems that you've dumped my clothes on the porch. Can you kindly put them back?" The only hint that he gave, that he was surprised by her answer, was a tiny widening of the eyes. A less observant person wouldn't have caught it. "Like hell you are," he growled. "I'm the foreman here, and you're trespassing in my cabin."